The National Orientation Agency, in collaboration with Harlow Maize Communications, a non-governmental organization, organized its third annual legislative conference in Abuja on Monday. The conference, which was themed Legislative Investigative Powers, Expectations, Challenges and Way Forward, had in attendance the Director General of National Orientation Agency, Dr. Garba Abari, the CEO of Harlow Maize Communications, Sonny Anderson, Senator Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, representing the Senate President Ahmed Lawan, Honorable Isa Adodogua, representing the Speaker House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila, and Isa Onoja, the representative of the chairman, ICPC, among other dignitaries. The conference was aimed at highlighting the investigative powers of legislature, shed light on the expectation of people on the legislature, as well as to highlight the challenges in order to forge a way forward for better governance in a democratic setting like Nigeria. Declaring the conference open, the Senate President, through his representative, Senator Aliyu Sabi Abdullahi, stated that governance is an effort requiring painstaking commitment. He, however, outlined that media narratives and compliance to motion resolutions were some of the challenges facing the exercise of legislative powers.
The anticipation of the people is naturally good governance, but good governance is a process requiring painstaking efforts by leaders and with the support of the followers. It is the fact that whatever the legislature says goes through a medium. Hardly will people get to hear fully what we say either in chamber or during investigation. What that means is that the media that conveys this message, I think it is time for us to also begin to ask, how do they convey this message? Because there is redaction, there is editing, and in many instances, the intendment, the context is lost in the course of presenting some of this information. The lack of compliance to resolutions of the National Assembly is actually a very great deficiency in our desire to develop and provide service which you all have called good governance.
Senator Hassan Adodogua, representing the Speaker House of Representatives, Honorable Femi Gbajabiamila, in his address, emphasized that the legislature is undermined in many quarters. As a result, the legislature calls for effort of critical partners to assist in emphasizing the importance of legislature. He added that the legislature is open to partnership with stakeholders like the NOA, the Hallowed Maize, and the media in sounding the importance and relevance of the legislature.
By what you are doing here today, in conjunction with the National Orientation Agency, NOA, is a great deal of service to our democracy, and it will help also to continue to create and engender parliamentary and legislative development in our institutional operations as a system. And if members of the society like you will continue to do things the way you are doing it, from different perspectives, depending on how they look at things to be done, encouraging and strengthening institutional operations, be it the legislature as an institution, the executive arm of government as an institution, then definitely I believe our democracy will grow faster and it will be there to deliver what we call the dividend of democracy. And if you continue to do that, I believe the legislative arm of government will continue to partner with the two other arms of government to help bring about effective democratic governance, good governance, create opportunities for jobs, create opportunities for our youth, and so many other things that are expected of a government. No government can function in isolation.
Also harping on the challenges to legislative powers, the chairman of ICPC, Bolaji Owoshanoye, represented by Isa Onoja, listed lack of enforcement powers and absence from public hearing by elected officials as impediment to legislative powers.
Some of the challenges in the powers of the legislature seems to be lack of enforcement powers, because enforcement powers is a unique executive function. Another possible challenge to conduct of investigative hearings is that the public spaces are awash with heads of some MDAs not showing up when the legislature invite them for public hearing. And we are witnesses to that, and one may wonder why it happens. And some of the ways that the defect may be cured may be for the legislature to interface with anti-corruption agencies, law enforcement agencies, so that whenever they conduct investigative hearings, they can submit the reports of such investigative hearing for enforcement action by anti-corruption agencies.
We expect the legislature to exercise its critical oversight watchdog in self-policing its members too. We expect that the legislature will perform its oversight watchdog role through fact-checking, through interviewing public officials and challenging them with problems and concerns, through fact-gathering, through observation of the things that are going on in the broader society, and through its investigative powers. The investigative responsibility of the legislature must lead to the prevention of corrupt practices, to avoid all distortions and the manipulations of budgets and the budgeting process. This responsibility is critical to providing the necessary conducive atmosphere for the successful delivery of the dividends of democracy to the electorate.
Abel Kuri for Signature TV 30 Minutes.